Hello, everyone. I'm just waiting a few minutes for others to join us, and then we will start. Okay, so let's start. So as I said in my email that today we're going to be discussing several points. We are going to speak about generic feedback on the literature review, and then we're going to say some information about the final presentation, and then we will discuss the problem solution essay structure at the end of the session, so that those of you who have a cause and effect essay to write, you can leave the session if you don't want to be confused by the problem solution structure, okay? So let's start. I've prepared this Word document. It's just like a collection of the most common mistakes that happened in the literature review. I thought that it would be good if I discuss it with you so that we can avoid these mistakes later on, okay? So we're going to start by language mistakes and punctuation. So I don't know if you've noticed, but we have uploaded for you on Turnitin a tool that highlights for you any language mistakes. So when you submit your final essay and then you check the file, you are going to find that Turnitin is already marking for you all your grammar and all your language and punctuation mistakes. I'm going to allow you to resubmit if you need to. So I highly advise you to try to submit the final essay early before the deadline so that you can see your similarity percentage and your language mistakes. And if you need, you can edit your assignment and you can change these mistakes and correct them and then submit again. Okay? So punctuation. What were the most punctuation mistakes that most of you did? The first problem we had was fragments. What is a fragment? It's a sentence that is incomplete. So it's a sentence that doesn't have a subject or that doesn't have a verb or that doesn't have a complete meaning. How can we correct this mistake? By using a full stop or a semicolon. So a phrase without a subject or a verb or a complete meaning, which is separated from the sentence before and after it by a full stop or a semicolon. The second problem, which is the opposite one, was run-ons. What are run-ons? They are sentences that keep running and running and running without any full stop. And most of you had this problem. Let's see an example. The Internet of Things has been very useful to humanity since it was invented. It have evaded humanity to outperform in certain tasks. Of course, here we also have it have, but the most prominent problem is that we needed to have a full stop. So how to correct this mistake? We have two options, either by a full stop or by a comma. So this is an example. The Internet of Things has been very useful to humanity. Full stop, since it was invented, it has blah, blah, blah. So in order to correct grammar mistakes, you can depend on your computer to help you with that. Either when you are writing on Word document and the Word already highlights these mistakes, or as I said in the beginning, you can submit your assignment to Turnitin, and after submission, Turnitin highlights all the mistakes, and then you can fix these problems and resubmit your assignment. But please do this because according to our rubric, language has about 10 marks, which is a lot. It can change you from one band to another band. So please try to proofread and revise very well. Make sure that you don't have lots of language mistakes on your assignment. Okay? Type. The second problem that was very, very common is that people did not have synthesis. So you used the sources, you wrote good paragraphs, but in these paragraphs, I did not find any synthesis. Let's read this example from one of the essays submitted on the literature review assignment. It says, e-waste is regarded as a kind of waste. However, this kind of waste can be a potential resource. Reclaiming can be regarded as a solution to all these problems because it lessens pollution and saves energy and money, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, I find the citation of only one source. We agreed before in class that synthesis is showing the relation between the sources. Do these sources agree, disagree? Can we compare? Can we contrast between them? So if I see a paragraph and this paragraph has only one citation, one source used, then this means that you did not do any synthesis. So in order to make sure that I have synthesis, any of your paragraphs should have at least two sources and your personal comments, not in an informal tone, of course, your own analysis and your own comment on the use of this. Does anyone have any questions about synthesis? Okay, great. Let's move on. Another problem was that most of your body paragraphs did not have a topic sentence. What is a topic sentence? As we explained before in class, a topic sentence is the first sentence in a body paragraph that introduces the idea of the body paragraph. So once I read this sentence, I know what is this paragraph about. Where should this sentence be? It should be at the very beginning. So it is the first sentence of the body paragraph. Let's look at an example of one of the body paragraphs submitted in the literature review assignment. Technology has been a huge factor. Can you notice the language mistakes? In our environment, especially in our education, it has made our education easier and faster. Some schools nowadays have offered their students with tablets to help them study anywhere, anytime. So actually this paragraph was about schools offering students with tablets, okay? So here, the topic sentence was there, but it was the second sentence. Some of you did not have it at all. Some of you had it as a second or a third sentence. Your topic sentence must be the first sentence of the body paragraph. What is its job? Its job is to tell me what is the main idea of this paragraph. Without a topic sentence, I read your paragraph, but I feel confused because I don't know what is this paragraph about. Okay? Please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay? Another problem that we faced was thesis statements. Either I did not find a thesis statement at all in the literature review, in the introduction, or there was a thesis statement, but it was not in its right place. Where should a thesis statement be? As we said a million times before, the thesis statement should be the last sentence of the introduction, the last sentence. So after I read your introduction, the last sentence, the last full stop, this is your thesis statement. Some of you wrote more than one sentence. No, The thesis statement should be only one sentence. Only one sentence. Let's see an example of one of your essays. Notwithstanding, everything in this world would have both sides, the dark side and the bright one. So AI have advantages and disadvantages for implementing it. Besides, artificial intelligence affects humans' life and give a lot of options. So if I am correcting now, this should be the thesis statement because this is the last sentence of the introduction. But in fact, this was not the thesis statement. The thesis statement here is this one. AI has advantages and disadvantages for implementing it. So if you don't put the thesis statement in the correct place, your reader will be very, very confused and you will not get the grade for it because the thesis statement should be the last sentence of the introduction. Okay? Right. What else? Another problem that I found in your literature review was not following the essay structure. And sometimes there was no essay structure at all. Some students submitted long paragraphs. This is not acceptable because this is not the task required from you. What is the task required from you? The task is for you to submit an essay. Essay has introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. So the introduction, one paragraph. The body is divided into several paragraphs, 3 or 4. Then one paragraph for the conclusion. Right. Let's remember quickly. If I'm writing a cause and effect paragraph, I should start with an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, conclusion. In the introduction, I have a hook, definition, background information, aim of the essay, and thesis. Body paragraphs, topic sentence, sentences with comments, transitional words, concluding sentence. Conclusion, restate the thesis statement, summarizing the main points of the essay, ends with a concluding sentence. And most importantly, a reference page. You cannot submit your essay without a reference page because even...
I have a question. In the reference sources down, can't you add bullet points?
No, you have to follow the format of the BUE style sheet. And most of you who had problems with this in the literature review, I wrote this comment. Please check the BUE style sheet. Look at how the reference page is written in the BUE style sheet and make yours look exactly like it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome. Okay, great. So again, you should have introduction, body paragraphs, separated, divided into a number of paragraphs, either 3 or 4, depends on the type of the essay you're writing. Then concluding paragraph, reference page. It's very, very important that your essay looks like an essay. Okay, type. What if I am writing a problem solution essay, which we will be discussing today in details? You have to have an introduction, hook, definition, background, information, aim of the essay, thesis, body, 3 body paragraphs, again, topic sentence, synthesis, transitional words and concluding sentence, a conclusion, and then a list of references. So before you submit your final essay, please go back to this checklist and make sure that you have all of these parts, okay? Right. We had several mistakes in citation, although it is supposed to be very easy if you try to use easy methods. We are not asking you to try to do complex citation. Try to use something easy, simple, straightforward to avoid mistakes. Right. Here are some mistakes copied from some of your essays. Let's look at them together. The first one, according to Ali, 2012, since students will. Can anyone tell me what is the mistake here? In this first one, what was the mistake that the student did?
The quotation.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
It's supposed to write Ali after that, parentheses, 2012.
Excellent. Yes, yes. Thank you, Habiba. Thank you, Nadine. Very good. So it's supposed to be according to Ali, and then 2012. Why? Because Ali here is part of the sentence. I am saying according to someone. So the name of this person must be a part of the sentence. So please be careful, because this mistake was repeated a lot in the literature review. So if you're going to say according to, or the person said or believed, then the name is not inside the parenthesis. It is outside the parenthesis. Very good. Okay, so this is the correction. Type. Next one. Using these tablets will help the new generations to have better education. Full stop. Soikan 2015. Can anyone tell me what is the mistake here? Is it correct?
Soikan must be in the brackets.
Okay, this is the first thing. Very good. So soikan should be inside the parentheses, right? Excellent. But there's another problem, a very big problem.
The full stop should be after the brackets.
Excellent. Why? Minna, like this. What does it show? If the student leaves it like this, do you understand that this citation is about this sentence?
No.
No, it can be about the sentence after it. I don't know. So for me, this sentence now does not have any citation. Excellent. So I should remove the full stop. The citation is part of the sentence, and then I add the full stop after the citation. Excellent job. Is anyone confused about any of these citation methods so far? Please, if you're confused, let me know. So let's look at this one. Again, it's copied and pasted from your literature reviews. That being said, AI is the capability of a program to understand, learn, and think just like humans, consequently being able to carry through according to, again, it is the same problem. According to should have Burana outside of the parenthesis, and we should have a comma here. Okay? Right. Let's look. This one was very common. Artificial intelligence is not restricted to any specific field. In fact, it has infinite, unimaginable applications. And then doctor, whoever, blah, 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 all of this. What's wrong here? What is the mistake that the student did? Can anyone tell me?
I should only write the name and the date.
Very good, because
not all this information.
This information, where does it belong, Yaminna?
In
The
the
reference
source
page.
down in the
Excellent.
source list.
Yes, thank you, Habiba. Very good. It belongs to the reference list. Type. What if I do this? Because this was also a common mistake. Oh, I deleted the information. Is it right? No, because I cannot say doctor someone in the citation, or professor, or whoever. No, I just include
Say the last name. The last
Very
name.
good.
The date.
Excellent. Yes, only the last name, not the date. Only the year. Remember, you don't write the months. Only the year. The year. Okay? Type. Very good. Type. So we should have, if I'm starting with the source, according to last name and then the year, like this, or the last name, year inside the parenthesis, stated something. This is the correct way to do it. Okay? Type. Again, at the end, after my sentence, I write the last name and the year, and then full stop. After the citation and not before the citation. Okay, type. What if I'm using quotations? If I am using quotations, I add the page number. Okay, but I want you to try to avoid using quotations as much as possible to make your synthesis clearer. If you feel like paraphrasing will change the meaning, okay, you can use quotations, but in a very minimum way, like 1 time or 2 times maximum. Okay, do we have any questions about citation in text or full text? Anyone confused about citation until now? Right, let me repeat again what I said in class. You must keep the BUE style sheet beside you whenever you are submitting any assignment, not only in this module, any assignment. Check the BUE style sheet, make sure you are following the correct format, make sure that your citation looks like the citation in the BUE style sheet. Your reference list should look like the reference list in the BUE style sheet. Okay? Perfect. Another problem that I found was informal language. Of course, this is not a fatal mistake, but still it's better to avoid it. So we should be formal. We cannot use personal pronouns like I, my, you, we. We should not use any of these. Instead of saying they are, it should be they are. Instead of saying teens, we should be saying teenagers. So we should try to be formal. Problems that are hard for human beings to crack on his own? Of course not, because this is very, very informal. It is
What
slang.
what can I say instead of we?
You shouldn't speak in this way. You shouldn't try to say we. You can say individuals. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So instead of we, let's think together. Individuals, humans, people, whatever, okay? And if you really need to refer to someone, as we said before in class, you can use one. So you can say one must be careful when dealing with technology, for example. If you really need to use a pronoun, you can use the pronoun one. But we cannot use we, I think, we, because I really found this a lot. And it's not only a language mistake, but it makes the whole paragraph sound very informal, which affects, of course, your grade at the end. Okay? So any language problems should not be dealt with in the beginning. In the beginning, you should just be focusing on your ideas and the content. After you finish, you must go through a phase called proofreading. Yani I cannot submit my essay or anything that I wrote, even when I send you an email. In the beginning, I write the email, only thinking about the information I want to tell you. But before I press send, I revise my email. I make sure that while I was so concentrated on ideas, I didn't make any language mistakes. I felt that most of you just finish the essay and submit it. No, you have to revise it. You have to check for language problems. Is it formal? Am I citing correctly? You must revise. It really makes a huge difference. Okay? So, when I'm using quotations, I should format it in a certain way. Let's look at how to do this. So, first of all, I should not leave a space between the quotation mark and the words before or after them, so that Turnitin knows that they are quotations, because when you leave space, Turnitin is going to highlight it as if you are copying. So, quotations should always be a part of the sentence. It's not a paragraph, because this means that you didn't do your job as a writer. You just copied and pasted. But if I use synthesis while quoting, that's correct. Let's see an example. This is an example, a good one. So Burana, 2016, said that AI made lives easier by showing that gadgets like mobile phones, laptops, smartwatches. So is this my words or her words? Her words. But the rest of the sentence is mine. So I am showing that I'm not lazy. It's just that I want to keep this part of the sentence as it is, but still I'm doing my job as a writer. So they are everywhere, which means that denying its effect and mistrusting it could harm humanity, not benefit it. Page 10. So here, although the student is quoting, but I can still see his or her voice as a writer. And this is something extremely important. Okay? So I finished my generic feedback. Does anyone have any questions about things related to the literature review that they are scared that they might repeat in the final essay? Any mistakes that you're worried about making? Any questions before we move on?
I have a question on the discussion paper. Can't we write 6 paragraphs? يعني problem 1, problem 2, solution 1, solution 2?
No, Habiba, can you just give us like 10 minutes and we will start talking about the detailed structure of the problem solution essay. And then ask me your question. But because I'm going to answer this question in exactly 5 to 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
So if you still have it, please ask me again at the end, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any questions about the mistakes? Right, very good. So that's all about the literature review. And I shared with you this feedback because I don't want someone to repeat these same mistakes when you are submitting your final paper. Okay, طيب now I'm going to
Can we repeat the last thing, the last mistake?
which one? Quotations?
Yes, that one. This one.
Mhm. This is the correct one, Sharif. What's wrong is
تمام.
that some people, for example, write the sentence like this. So, Burana, so, okay, so technology harms humanity. Okay, and then you open the quotation marks.
Mhm.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so, and then you copy your quotation and then full stop. So here you add citation, but this whole sentence now is copied. You didn't do any analysis, right? So this is not how we quote. When you use quotations, part of the sentence can be copied as a quotation and part of it should be your own voice. Do you understand? I cannot hear you. Okay, let's move on because I can't hear Sharif. Okay, so before I start talking about the problem solution essay,
Yes.
I'm going to very briefly tell you some information about the final presentation. We will speak about it in details next session, inshallah. But today I just want to tell you some information about it, and then we start talking about the problem solution essay. Okay? Right. Let's remember together, according to the task sheet, what was our final task? What is our final project? Okay, so according to the task sheet uploaded on e-learning, the part of your final project is your discussion paper, and the other part is your oral presentation, which is 20%. Type, what's going to happen now, because we cannot meet face-to-face, we are going to ask you to prepare the PowerPoint presentation and you will record your own voice on it. How are you going to do this? I'm going to give you all the details. I don't want you to worry about this now, but I need you to work on your essay quickly so that you can start working on your PowerPoint, because all the information mentioned in the essay is going to be in your presentation. So you cannot work on the PowerPoint without your essay. Okay? So let's not ask about the technical problems now. I just want you, whenever you feel ready, to start working on your PowerPoint. Type, what is it going to include? It's going to include a PowerPoint presentation presented in 5 to 7 minutes, minimum 5 minutes, maximum 7 minutes. Type, it should have 6 to 8 slides. The slides should include a cover slide, an agenda, a slide for causes or solutions, a slide for effects or advantages and disadvantages of solution. It depends on the type of essay, a conclusion slide, a reference list slides. It should include a lot of visual things, charts, tables, pictures, short video. It should, of course, follow the standard guidelines. It should be formal, not very colorful, as it's something formal. Okay? So I'm going to show you a lot of examples. I'm going to upload on e-learning lots of examples. I'm going to tell you how are we going to do the narration for the PowerPoint, but I don't want you to worry about this now. I just want you to have a very clear outline for your essay, whether it is cause and effect or problem solution, so that you are able to start working on your PowerPoint presentation. Okay, today inshallah you will find a lot of material on e-learning on the presentation and how to do it, and some example slides, and then next class I'm going to show you some examples on how to narrate, and we're also going to practice together. So I'm going to ask you to prepare some presentations and you are going to practice online. I will give you feedback to feel comfortable before the final presentation. Again, what are we going to do? We are going to prepare a PowerPoint presentation explaining the same ideas that are explained in your essay, and you are going to record your voice on this PowerPoint presentation, because of course we cannot do it face-to-face now. Is this idea clear for everyone, or is anyone confused? Clear?
Here.
Any questions? Any problems? I want just to stress on the fact that you should be checking e-learning all the time. Almost every day I upload new material. There is a lot of audio lectures that we record every day and upload on YouTube. I put the links on e-learning. I develop material. Sometimes I send it to you by email, but most of the time it's uploaded on e-learning. So please guys, try to check e-learning all the time in order to have more material than you have for now, so that you have less difficulty working on your essays. Okay? Type. Unfortunately, now Zoom is going to end the session because we spent 40 minutes, and I'm going to start talking about the problem solution essay. Okay? So I'm going to send you a new invitation for a new meeting, only for those who are going to work on their problem solution essays. If you're going to